Hello and welcome to the finals of the Beating Bam Season 1 playoffs. You're going to see some of the top players in Disc Golf Valley going toe-to-toe here on Jory's Gems. This is an incredibly tough layout that Jory was tricked into creating by some of his friends. He gave the toughest holes he could think of, and boom, they threw it together into a layout for him. This is the hardest rated layout that exists on the community layouts spreadsheet put together by Greg Guthrie over at Global Disc Golf. This is going to be some very tough holes these players are facing off on. In the end, we will crown a winner who has taken home a cash prize as well as a physical Beating Bam disc. Coming into this round, we have Codeblue in first place at -40 through the first three, Hyundai in second at 39, Fergie and Reese are tied at 38, and then Smuh, Eagly, Rauta, and John not too far behind. Here's Codeblue for us. Codeblue has done amazingly well so far in this tournament, only playing since July of 2019, but really taken off lately. Well, only he's been playing for a while. Got an invisible drink there from our editors, but so far his first three rounds, he has a 97% birdie rate. New to coverage for this round is Hyundai. Hyundai coming in from Finland. Hyundai's biggest fan is Venla. I am sure she is here watching and cheering him on. Make sure we catch Hyundai, who's been playing since April of 2020 with his Svea. And he was the only player to ace Lakeside 8 from this card. And that was the last week's round. Fergie for reals, you've seen him before. He's back again. He has been top 4 in all of the rounds so far. We'll see if he can keep it up and remain in the top 4 or the top after today. And there's Reese, the two-time Disc Golf Valley World Champion. Reese has hit 12 of the 14 eagle opportunities that were there in the first three rounds, leading to an 86% eagle rate anytime eagle was in play. Let's see what he's going to do here in this final round. Hole 1 today of Jory's Gems is the Maple Hill Gold, hole 9, a very difficult hole with a tight fairway. And if you're around the corner, down onto the green, or consider even the potential of laying up to make sure you have a long look out of that basket. This is a tight fairway to hit and get any look at this basket. You're likely to get caught up in those trees if you're trying to go for the green. We're going to see a variety of plays here from our competitors on this card. First up is Codeblue. He's seeing this awful right to left headwind. He's going to take his glide skip paradigm out there, see if he can get it out to have a good look to be able to get down to the green or pitched up short of the creek. We'll see where he goes from here. Hyundai next. Hyundai is taking his glide skip Rive, something that's going to have a little bit more lift to it. And that headwind is going to lift it up a bunch, but it's going to fade here. Might have some trouble behind those little stick trees. See what he's doing there. Here's Fergie going to be taking his glide skip Rive. Fergie with his glide skip Rive, a similar line to Hyundai, a little bit lower. And that lower line is going to keep him further to the left and potentially a great look coming down the hillside here. Last up on the box is going to be Reese. Reese is taking his glide skip Enigma. So you can tell glide skip is the play here. You get as far down that fairway as you can and try to get a look to get clean down the hillside. So you're going to have Reese up again, out from 355. He's trying to see if he can find a way through these trees. He's going to take his sticky Sampo. I'm not sure yet. Is he going to be trying to go for this green? I feel like a layup might be the way from here. Going for that green. Always tends to get trees. Oh no. Get lucky. Does that? Oh, almost staying up top, but he's OB. Gonna be taking a penalty stroke there. Likely par at best for him. Monday has taken, looks like it was Glide Sapphire, then switched up on us last minute to, I think that's a Sticky Sapphire. Going to be able to have a look there for his birdie, getting lucky that he stopped there. Fergie trying to figure out how he's going to navigate down through these trees. It's a really tough fairway. He's going to take his Sticky Sapphire, give it a backhand with plenty of Anheuser. Can he get through the trees? He does. He makes it through the trees. Fergie going to be the only one here onto the green with a very clean look. Finally up to Codeblue after his drive. 321. Looks like he's looking at his core, sapphire. And way up, or are we going for it here? He's going for it. Also hitting those trees and dropping down early. Those trees can be incredibly treacherous. Hyundai hitting his Svea for his birdie. I expect to see everybody throwing from here. Reese with his fuse from 66. Account for that wind. He went, oh no. No. He went to forehand to account for that wind, but got just a little bit low. Codeblue from 60 feet, taking his preferred throw-in disc, and dropping in there for his par. Fergie here on the green. Is he going to putt in here? Yes. Fergie with the sole birdie on the card, so he's going to be taking the box. Codeblue and Hyundai tied up at the top now at 40 under. Fergie at 39, and Eagly busted his way there into fourth place at 38, with Rauta and Reese and Smuh not far behind him here. We see John, Feather, and Aaron a little ways back, but anything can happen on these incredibly difficult holes that we have coming up here. The next hole that we're going to have is going to be Nokia 15. We saw this last week in hell. This week, the average of the field was 2.52. So plenty of birdies, but also plenty of pars along the way. Most of these players probably taking a glide or skip fairway, give it a little bit of turn, probably by aiming low, and hopefully just jump right over that creek and end up here on the green. There is a play with a forehand glide roll drive or glide roll distance driver. Not sure any of these players are taking that line though. Yeah, the 2 headwind looks like the play here that Hyundai's lining up is the skip grace. Leaning a little bit to the right. If he can get lucky through here, yes, he does get lucky, misses those stakes. He's safely onto the green. Fergie taking his skip sapphire on a similar line. Not quite as much turn out of the hand because the sapphire instead of the grace. The dead skip limps its way across the river, but it does indeed make it there. The skip Sampo is what Codeblue is going to be throwing here. Aim down low to the left. Trying to judge what he's going to do with that wind. Give it some Anheuser. And if this gets by that tree, this is sketchy the whole way. It did stay, and it stays. A sketchy play the whole way, but he managed to make it there onto the green. Another skip Sampo coming here from Reese. He's aiming a little bit higher than Codeblue, and a good bit more Anheuser to help counteract for that height. And looks like he's leaking left as well. Uh-oh. Can that tree stop Reese in play too? Oh, is it? Is it? No. Reese OB. Tough start for Reese here on the first 2. Fergie just off the top, barely staying for birdie with his fuse. Reese is going to get his keystone. There we go. Got the keystone in. Little bit of technical difficulties on Reese's recording there. Codeblue getting his hope, so he's going to be likely taking the birdie from here. Most of these players are going to be able to make it once they get on the screen with the 2 wind. 3s and 4s, we see a lot more misses within 100 feet. But on the 2s, most of these players are going to be making it. And there we go. Scorecard now is Codeblue and Hyundai tied up at the top. Fergie still hanging out in third. Eagly and Rauta and Smuh as well, not too far behind. Reese dropping his way down a bit. We'll have to see if he can fight his way back up in some of these remaining holes or be counting on some mistakes from some of the other players. John, Feather, and Aaron down there at tied 8th for John Feather and Aaron at 10. Next hole that we have here, this one is Champions Landing 9. A tough eagle, but a very reasonable birdie. So I see players probably going for the eagle and hopefully getting the birdie at least on their way there. See, the field average this time around was 3.2 on this 589-foot par 4. We'll see how these players approach it. Probably a big forehand off the tee. See if they can set themselves up with a look at that basket. First on the box is Hyundai. Hyundai is taking his glide skip paradigm. It's a mostly straight pullback. Looks like he gave a little bit of anhyzer to that. And if it misses that box, it does. This was a great shot if he's going to have a look at that basket. Not sure if he's far enough to get around those bushes, but if he does, he's going to have a fantastic look from that distance. Fergie with his glide skip Enigma, of his own design, looks like he caught a little bit of trees trying to get out of the gap. He's going to have a bit of a scramble there ahead of him. See if he gets out of there cleanly. Glide skip paradigm is Codeblue's play, giving this a little bit of hyzer. So compared to Hyundai's anhyzer, Codeblue giving a little bit of hyzer with a different aim point. And he's going to be a bit further out. Eagle's probably out of play for him from there. Reese is going to be taking his Enigma, so a straight play. Straight skipping driver seems to be the play of preference for most of these players. Oh, and the dead skip just eats it up. So likely birdies for everyone, unless Hyundai does have a look from where he's at. We'll see when he gets there. Codeblue is taking his sticky harp. Just get it around the corner. He's going to be there, tap it in for his birdie. Might as well just watch him finish it out and take that birdie in. Next is Fergie. How is he going to scramble here? There is a backdoor line kind of through the trees to the right. It looks like he's going skip sapphire. Oh, some power off. Make that a stronger finish to the right. And he's certainly going to be set up here to be able to have a good look to save that birdie. Reese from 210 going to take his MD1 with plenty of hyzer on the forehand. Kind of laying it up around this corner. And again, not much that can go wrong with at that point. Did Hyundai get a look? No, he doesn't. He's going to drop that drop around the corner. And Hyundai is going to be tapping out for his birdie as well. Looks like we're going to be ended up with everybody getting birdies here on the lead card. Keeping their position the same. We'll go in a moment and see what the scorecard looks like overall to see how the rest of the field shook out. And if anybody managed to get that eagle and come back in, or maybe some bogeys. But it looks pretty clean through here. Codeblue, Hyundai, and Fergie still out 1, 2, and 3. Then Eagly, Smuh, Rauta, Reese, John Feather, and Aaron Christensen not too far behind. So plenty of golf ahead of us, but let's see if Codeblue can hold it down after just winning Survivor. See if he can keep it together to win the Beating Bam playoffs as well. Our next hole here, hole 4, is Champions Landing, hole 14. This is from the original 2022 layout, so the players are further back with a tough, long drive off the tee. The OB to the left is a little bit more opened up than it is in the 2024 layout, so the players are able to play that forehand or the backhand line and have a little bit more forgiveness on the left side. Into the approach to this green, you have to get around the golf green, avoiding the trees, not go long OB, not turn over too far right into the houses. It is certainly a tough hole and a tough get. It's a great helpful wind though. It's going to push the players further up there. Hyundai's taken his glide skip paradigm, so that straight, the flippy skippy driver, as I like to call it. And this is a position you wish he was a little more left to be able to get under that small tree that he just fell behind. Fergie is taking his Enigma on a similar line, aiming out further to the left. And we're seeing a lot of straight pullbacks so far from Fergie. Oh, the dead skip again. The straight pullbacks, I think, is a great way to play the game. That's how I like to play, mostly straight pullbacks. But you'll see players like Aaron Christensen, example on coverage a lot, having lots of angle control. Certainly another play style. Codeblue is taking the sticky drive, it looks like. Interesting. So he's taking the backhand line. This is a line that Reese popularized around a little bit before Disc Golf Valley Players Tour last time around, then shared with everyone that he had since abandoned it. But I wonder what the decision is there for the sticky rive as opposed to something skippy or at least a neutral ground play. Reese has taken his glide water skip captain because he didn't want the extra skip from the paradigm, or maybe just wanted to really make sure that the captain got around to the right. Next is his glide water skip PD2. Plenty of hook to that finish. And that looked like a fantastic disc for that shot. I know I always struggle getting enough hyzer on that. Fergie is up next with his Enigma. If he misses this tree and gets through, oh no, those sticks. The field crew here is definitely going to get those sticks for the next championship run that we have. Skip Sampo is going to be Codeblue's play. See if he can bend to the right side of that big tree. And hopefully with enough of a finish there to the left to give him a look. Missed that stick. Looks like he might have gone right through that stick. Thankfully, no collision there. And he's going to have a look for his birdie from here. Hyundai now with his skip brace. Is he going to be able to go low under that tree? No, he's going to take the rive, not the skip brace. Take the high line on that rive. And that's where it gets through that tree. Wow. I thought that tree was going to eat it up, but it managed to get through just fine. Fergie's going to see his MD1, see if he's going to give us a run. Oh, gave it a run, but just off the top. Fergie getting eaten up by that dead skip right off the tee. That really takes a lot of wind out of your sails trying to go for almost some of these longer holes. Honda going to throw in with his Svea. Next is going to be Reese throwing in with his Keystone. And these players will be glad to get out of Champions Landing after this hole. And they made it through largely unscathed. We did have a par on the card, but no OBs and making it through to stay near the top and at least in the top 10 for this event so far. Not a lot of shaking up happening right there. At the top, Codeblue and Hyundai still staying neck and neck, but Smuh has jumped into the tied third there, joining Fergie and Eagly, and still with Rauta, Reese, and John close behind. Nori Yesis jumping onto the top 10 here at minus 35. Our next hole that we're going to have coming up, hole 5, is going to be Northern Lights 3. Northern Lights 3, always a really tough one to see in competitive layouts. You need to get this first drive out here to the landing zone, kind of where the drone is going over, just past this first tree of Christmas lights. Some players are going to go just a big forehand around the left side, try to go for the green, see if they can get the tap in or the easy eagle. Most of these players, though, probably take in to that landing zone and then a forehand with the far flying fairway driver of choice around the corner to end up here on this very narrow green with risk left, risk right, and risk long. And if you fall too short, you got a tough throwing from there. So all in all, a very tough hole. Hyundai taking the Glide Sapphire on forehand, getting out very nicely to the landing zone here. Can't ask for much better than that off the tee. It's a great shot by Hyundai there. Codeblue looks like taking a similar line with his Glide Sapphire. He aims a little bit lower and adds the hyzer to it. So probably finishing around a similar spot. Obviously, you aim lower, it gives the disc a little bit more turn out of the hand. Aiming higher, you get to have less turn, and so you get to have a little bit less hyzer that you're putting on it. Looks like Reese is going with a backhand shift line. And I love this. It sets you up nice and close. And it's one, if you get consistent with it, some good ground play can even have you going something like a river or a 7-speed into the green there. Fergie's looking at this wind, and he's taking the Enigma, Glide Skip Enigma forehand. So this is the going for it play. He's going to try to get wide around here. This looks like it might have leaked too wide. Is it going to come back? It's not. If he gets past this bridge, then he gets to go to the last drop zone, which he does. He gets past the bridge, so he's going to go to the drop zone, 148, looking at the basket from there. He'll have a chance at saving that par. Hyundai with a forehand Glide Sapphire again. See if this gets up here. Stay in. Stay safe. Lucky to stay safe there. Hopefully that bush is not going to be in his way. Codeblue, also with the Glide Sapphire, taking a similar play to Hyundai, see if he can make the correction. We did see him give that a little bit of hyzer out of the hand, and if this can slow down to stay safe, it's going to be great. It does, so he's going to be there having his look for birdie. From 580, see how Reese lines this up. He's lining up with his Glide Sapphire, but taking a little bit of power off there. Taking a little bit of power off the disc can almost add an extra slot to your bag. So that Glide Sapphire there flies like a Glide windbreaker, a Sapphire without the Glide. Let's see if Furry can convert the birdie from 148. No, just off the side. Bummer for Fergie taking a par there. Looks like he may have been going for it, trying to make up a stroke from hole 4 and paying the price for getting aggressive there. Hyundai just off the top as well, getting his par. Can Codeblue convert it and take the outright lead for the lead over Hyundai into solo first place? He's done it. He's done it. So Codeblue going back into solo first. Reese gonna knock it in from 51 with his keystone. And oh, whoops, almost forgot about Fergie tapping in and taking his par. And there we go. Codeblue with the solo lead. Hyundai into solo second. Eagly and Smuh in third, and Fergie paying the price for the aggressive run there and dropping down to 5th and giving up that tied 3rd spot that he was holding on to. Rauta and Reese at 40. So probably first place out of the question for them at this point, but they can still potentially be making a fight back to see if they can make their way into that top 3, where the top 3 are cashing in this tournament. Lost Island 8 is up next. Get out the tunnel. Decide if you're going to lay up short of this creek or try to cross it off the tee. If you're crossing the creek off the tee, the next play is to try and get a glide skip or some sort of skippy driver down to the green, avoiding these train tracks along the way. If you get those train tracks, you can get caught short early without much of a look for that eagle anymore. Or worst case scenario is even a bad kick right down into the water and taking an OB stroke and still being too far to even save the par from that point. Players definitely don't want that, but a great helping wind that they have here. We see Codeblue with the glide water skip paradigm, figuring out what his aim point is going to be. This wind, we're not going to see anybody laying up in this wind, that's for sure. The water skip gives him a little bit of security with a different wind if you were to fall shorter and hit that little creek. But this is looking fantastically bad. Stay out. Oh no. Need even a little bit more turn on that. It's tough. That tailwind gets you the distance, but can potentially stable you up early too. So let's see Reese here taking his captain, aiming low into the left, and then giving it that anhyzer out of the hand. This looks like it's flying absolutely perfect. Actually, this time, and skipping way down there past the tree, caught up on the rocks a little bit, but no doubt a great look at the eagle for Reese from there. Hyundai's play is going to be taking his glide water skip strive, slide right, aim left. He gets that anhyzer just right, just to the top of that tree where there's no collision in play. And if he can avoid the cave, the mine there, he does, and he's going to be right next to Reese, just out on the train track, so a slightly better angle there that he's going to be looking at. Fergie is taking his glide skip enigma, get it around, down to aim, slide right, aim left, and give that anhyzer. So it looks like the play here in this win is definitely sliding right and aiming left to get around it just right, and also by the tree. Let's see if Codeblue is going to be making his way out of this cave. Thankfully, he has a good look. Sometimes you get stuck up in that cave without a look out at all, and you basically just have to putt to pitch out and take a double penalty. But he is jumping nicely along those tracks. He's going to be there for birdie. If Hyundai can convert the eagle, then he will tie it back up at the top of the card. Reese taking his glide water skip PD2. Make sure he nails that wall on the left side, and that slows him down, so he's going to have a good look there. Fergie, is he around that bush? He is around the bush with the glide roll rive. Doesn't want to go too far with that monster pushing tailwind. It's going to slam him into the wall as well, which I think is just fine because the roll on this disc is going to slow it down. There's rumors at this point of roll changing and eventually losing that sticky power, but it is still in play for this round right now. Fergie tapping in his eagle. All right, 131 for Hyundai with his skip grace. If he can get the grace in. Okay. If that got caught up there, he might have had a little bit of work left for him, but he doesn't here. Oh, if this keeps rolling, how close is this going to be? 13 meters. All right, he should be able to knock there from 13 meters. Codeblue tossing his hope, so he does take the birdie, opening the door there for Hyundai to come back in if he can finish it from his 13-meter throw-in. 13 meters, it's not even a throw-in, it's a putt. And he does it. Hyundai tying right back up with Codeblue. These guys are going neck and neck, trading strokes. Codeblue and Hyundai tied up at 45. Smuh just right there, not letting them get too far away. Fergie into fourth, so shot his way up there past Eagly with that eagle that he was able to get. And Eagly and Rauta and Reese down at 42, trying to keep their names in the mix, see if they can fight their way into third and give Fergie a little bit more of a contention there. Not to mention Smuh, a bit more of a contention for third place. Hole 7 of this layout here is Northern Breeze 7. A very tough hole. Get a tricky drive and get hopefully a look into the screen. If you get out here around where the drone is over right now, that's the landing zone you want. Further up is even better if you can get there. Some players are backhand off the tee with a lot of flex. Some are backhand through the trees. Some are going forehand off that tee. And then get down to the screen. Make sure you hang left. If you miss left, you can still have a look at this basket. If you miss right, you're going OB and back to a far drop zone without much of a chance at saving that birdie at all. We have Reese is going to take his accurate skip Sampo, and he's taking a lot of Anheuser on this line. Get around the corner, and if he gets a skip up here, he should get a good look at this. He does. He has a good look. He'll be able to make it from there. Out down to the green. At least have a look at the green. Hyundai taking his glide skip paradigm. Also taking the big Anheuser line around the left side. If he gets up there, he does. That is a fantastic looking drive. Well, maybe pinched off around those rocks a little bit. Fergie's showing us a backhand line with his glide skip Enigma. If he can sneak through those trees and bump up here, he does. Now, Fergie will certainly have a look down to the green from there. Codeblue goes for his sticky drive again. Slide right. See if he can sneak through this small gap in these trees here. I think aiming low, you need to give this a little bit of hyzer out of the hand and hopefully not hit one of the tree trunks on the second set of trees. He's not anywhere near the trunks, hitting some of the gifts, and potentially pinched off a bit here. So a couple of our players have some work ahead of them. On a 352, he's taking his water skip paradigm. See if he can sneak under that tree. Oh, he was on backhand. I thought he was on forehand and in a lot of trouble there. See if he can be out behind that bush now when he gets to throw in. Thank goodness that was not on a forehand. I didn't know what he was doing. Reese on the glide water skip captain. Reese taking the backhand as well. Make sure he's fading away from the danger of missing out to the right. And he might have some trouble from this bush. All right, what is Hyundai going to do here? Taking his sticky Explorer. Right now it's on a backhand. Well, I think I need to consider more backhands on my second approach here. The way these guys are playing and showing that backhand is a very real possibility. Fergie with the Pioneer, the hard fade out to the right, gets him around that corner and down up plenty close. It's like I've always gone forehand around that to make sure I'm fading down towards the basket. But really, you look at when these guys went backhand, and that miss to the left has a big like, rock or snow wall in front of them. So that even if I miss hard left, it has a chance of rolling down or being closer to the basket that way. So that's certainly something to consider, taking that backhand into this green if you get close enough to do so. In the end, every one of these guys taking this birdie. So Codeblue and Hyundai keeping it tied up at the top. Smuh keeping third place away from the clutches of Fergie, who's staying right on his heels there. In fourth, and see a similar Eagly, Rauta, Reese, and John back there in fifth through eighth. And then Feather and Nora Yesis rounding up ninth and 10th place there on this card, on this side. Scorecard, at least, the top 10 that we have. The eighth hole of this layout is going to be going to Ikigai Springs 5. Average for this hole is 2.33, so a large majority of the players here getting that birdie. If they can get through this triple mando, they're going to have a look. It's as simple as that. Get through the mando, don't go OB, and have a look at this basket. A lot of players take a forehand, try and skip over towards this basket. Brings a lot of risk into play, I think, with those steps. A backhand to the rock leaves you like 80-ish feet. And the good look, see like Reese is going here. And he shift. If this sneaks through, get through. It does. And a good little kick too, right up on the hillside. No risk of going OB once it gets through the mando, at least. Honda takes the glide skip paradigm, aims up a little bit, gives it a bit more fade to it. It catches that cherry tree and slows it down. He's somewhere at 19 meters. Very easy birdie for him from there. Fergie is taking his glide water skip Enigma, get it up the gap, and it's easy as that. Get into the green. Codeblue can do it too. He'll keep it tied up. Takes the glide water skip paradigm. And if he can get through, he's through the mando. Oh no! That's that kick. No. No way. That's got to be fixed. That should be inbounds. His card mates were not generous to him there. I wonder what Hyundai was trying to convince them to call that OB. Dang. And not really any chance of saving the birdie from there with the core. He lays it up. Not really much you can do. And the backhand to finish out with his hope. And Codeblue throwing in with the hope, but watching his hopes wash away there with that bogey, opening the door wide open for Hyundai to jump into first place. All he needs to do is finish out his, was it 19 meters that he was at? Under there, 19 meters. Finish out with his Svea, the birdie. And there it is. He took the birdie. Hyundai in the lead by 2 strokes now. Codeblue, Smuh, and Fergie all tied in second. What a game changer there on that hole. We don't expect much to happen once players get through the mando, but there's always that risk, and Codeblue found it. The terrible kick off the stairs and the terrible call, frankly, from his card mates, making him the OB and go back to the drop zone when he was clearly inbounds. Hole 9 is Highlanders Ridge 8. 3.56 was the average for the field for this hole. You can see in this flyover, we have a big tailwind, which would be helpful. I think the players this time around actually had a big headwind when they were taking it on. It's the decision to lay up before the creek or try to cross the creek in one. Nobody's going to be getting the eagle with the monster headwind that they're taking on. Yeah, with this monster headwind, nobody's getting the eagle. So the decision now is how do I best lock up getting this birdie? Hyundai knowing that he just needs the birdie to lock it in, but Reese going big with his glide skip drive. If he can get across here and stay safe, He should be able to get this, but he knows he's down, so he's getting aggressive. See if he can save something back. That's a good kick. Probably about the best he can hope for with that 3 headwind. Honda get across with his glide skip paradigm. If this gets across, the headwind's going to hit it down, but he gets across a perfectly aimed shot. Now he can lay up from here and walk away as the winner if he makes it there. Fergie getting nice and aggressive like we'd expect him to do. He knows he hasn't had the greatest round, but unfortunately finds the river going OB. Here's the PD from Codeblue taking the layup. So at this point, he doesn't know Hyundai's score. He unfortunately doesn't know that he's down, and that aggressive may have been the way to go. Then even getting aggressive here, the Eagle is such a long shot that the safe birdie maybe is the way to stay and gain strokes. Taking his sticky ride for the layup, and oh, that kick and the roll. Codeblue, what did you do to this game before the round, man? That is brutal. The worst kicks happening to you right now. Fergie from 303 taking his glide water skip drive, kicking it up near the top. And here is Reese with his sticky Sampo. He's going on backhand. He's going to run this. Let's see if he can line it up. Be an amazing eagle to finish it out. And take him, I believe, into a solo second. If he's able to make this. Man, just off the right. But the sticky, that stopped really well. A lot of times that miss sends you flying way down the hillside without much of a comeback look at all. Hyundai there with his sticky Explorer. He's up on the green. And if this finishes clean, Hyundai will be our inaugural season of Beating Bam winner. Codeblue going for it just off to the right. He'll get his putt in to take the par. Unfortunate ending for him there with bogey par after an amazing first 3 rounds and frankly beginning of this final round as well. Kind of a heartbreak there for Codeblue dropping down at the end. Reese, see if he can finish out with his views. I think he's going to get just over that fence and try and drop in on the forehand there. And he does, so able to save his birdie even after the aggressive run for eagle. Fergie tapping in his birdie. And finally come down to Codeblue Hyundai ceremoniously tapping in his final birdie and taking the win by 2 strokes. Congratulations, Hyundai, getting a cash prize and offer shipped to him of a physical disc with the I Beat Band stamp. Smuh there in second place at -46. Smuh getting a cash prize as well. And then tied in third, we have Codeblue, Fergie for Reals, Eagly, Rauta, and Reese all in tied third. They'll be splitting that third place cash prize. John, Noor, Yeses, and Feather not too far behind. Well, there it is, the inaugural playoffs of Beating Bam Season 1. We have the next ones coming up very soon. Guys, if you enjoyed these videos, please let me know in the comments. They're a lot of work to put together, a lot of fun to put together, but a lot of work to do, and I hope you get some enjoyment out of them. Somebody asked me to, and it always feels weird to do. I did drop my Venmo link in the description if you want to make a donation. I expect nothing from you guys. It's free content out there for you. If you want to, I'm putting it there because somebody asked me to do so. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed all this, and as always, stay bogey free.